Hi, Maria here. And I want to talk to you today a little bit about some of the things you can run into when you're trying to manifest something new. When you're working actively with the law of attraction and with the practices, the kind of magic around manifesting something new in your life, and you're doing your affirmations, and you're doing your writing, and you're doing your speaking it out loud, believing it, meditating on it, and then it starts to happen. And it, sometimes very, very quickly, like maybe over just a few days or within a week or something completely shifts. And I've seen that over and over again with clients where they can barely believe it, and we tend to attribute it to, well, that's a coincidence, but it really isn't. So that's first off. When you really start to work with these principles, it shows up in your life pretty quickly. Now, that's super exciting. And what happens when something very exciting happens? It's something that we really wanted to have happen. We want to tell the people we love about it, right? So we tend to just pick up the phone and get really enthusiastic about it. And there are the friends that might also be working with these principles and that are not threatened by that, that truly can feel like, oh my God, I am so genuinely happy for you, and that's so wonderful, and tell me how you did it, and I want to do it too, or I'm doing it too. But you will also likely have friends as you're moving kind of from one vibration into a new vibration. You will probably also have some people around you that will meet you with less than I'm so happy for you. And it might be subtle. It could be just, silence, or just little remarks that feel like little jabs, or it could be just kind of a lukewarm reception of something you're sharing. And that will likely, in the early phases of becoming a manifestor, co-creator, kind of make something retract, like I did something wrong, or I'm kind of hurting the other person by leveling up, or I'm not really worthy of it. So when that happens, there's a couple of things I would like you to consider. First of all, have some empathy for the other person, even if it's not nice. And there might even be some ill will coming at you, where it's like, I don't really want you to succeed, because that makes me feel small. That's a place of insecurity. It's a place of not yet having found that key to co-creating. So hold that for a second. Okay, I forgive you, but then go do your inner work with what just happened. And for one, when you create something new in your life, it's like you're growing a new garden, or a little plant. If you've ever grown a plant from seed, you know that moment when the tender little shoot comes out, yeah? And it would be very easy to trample it, or for a rabbit to come and eat it or something. You protect it, and you put it in a south-facing window so it gets the sunlight, and you make sure it has enough water, and you wait for it to grow strong. I grew sunflowers from seed last year, and they're just these itty bitty little sunflower seeds, and some of them became almost like trees. I mean, they're almost like tree trunks. It's huge, almost can't call it a stem. It's like a trunk. Just very powerful, yeah? But they're not when they're teeny tiny. So I would say that in the beginning, when you do this prosperity work, just keep it to yourself, unless you're absolutely certain that you're going to get an enthusiastic response. Now, that's easier said than done, because we might be getting a non-enthusiastic response from someone we really expected would be happy for us. So when that does happen, and that likely will happen, most people come and talk to me about that, and I've certainly experienced that myself. Empathy for the person, but kind of dismiss the messenger, and then see if the remarks that are coming at you might be corresponding to some counter voices within you that doesn't really believe that you are worthy of that, or that is kind of questioning whether this could be real or something like that. And if that's what's happening, and you'll feel that within yourself by communicating with the energy field of the body that is contracting in response to this conversation that you just had. So kind of hold that place within, and just, I know you're scared, or that just really didn't feel good, to not feel supported and kind of embraced for stepping into the light a little bit more, for bringing more of your creative forces into the world. But I would also say, have yourself your higher self, the piece of you that knows that this manifesting thing is worth doing, and that is, you just kind of knows this is how things are created. That piece is like your higher self. Let that higher self take the hand of the little self, the self that gets scared and doubting, and hold that piece of yourself by the hand and say, you know, I understand that you're afraid. I understand that you might be afraid of the responses of people around you, and that you might not feel like you fully deserve that, or, you know, you kind of doubt the magic of life. But I'm going to take you by the hand and hold you through this. So I'm listening. I feel the knot in the stomach, but I'm not going to let this lower self part of me run the show. I'm going to continue with my affirmations. I'm going to continue with my meditations. I'm going to continue with my scripting, whatever methods it is that I'm actively engaging in, hopefully all of them, because I feel like the more of them you do, the more effective it becomes. And the other thing I want to mention in regards to being met with that is, we all live at a certain vibration, and we tend to surround ourselves with people that are at about that vibration. So often, you know, even in terms of the kind of work you do, or where you live, or how you spend your free time, you know, you end up with people that are kind of doing sort of the same thing, right? It's sort of a certain vibration. And when you start to raise your vibration to do things in a way that's better for you, that may be more light-filled, more creative, more fun, more enthusiasm, it's almost like you're lifting up above the vibration you were in. And you might find that there are people from your circle that are not good company anymore. You know, and it's not like you want to just cut people out of your life, but you just watch your own energy. One thing I did many years back, when I still had my phone on during the day, like people could actually call me, and now I keep it, I always keep the ringer off, and then I'll check when I want to check. But at the time, I had the ringer on, and not that many people called you on your cell phone yet, because you still had landlines. And I would have a separate ring tone for each of the most important people in my life. So say there's like 10 people that would call me on a regular basis, and they would each get a little tune. What happened was, when I would hear that tune, you know, in my purse or somewhere in the house, my body would have a response before I would even consciously know, oh, it's so-and-so calling, or it's so-and-so calling. And that vibration was so telling. Was it excited? Was it a flutter? Was it fear? Was it contraction? And that's probably what that person's energy is, how that person's energy is impacting your energy field. And there's two ways to look at that always. Like, what is it triggering that needs attention? You know, so it could be that it's someone who has a similar role to a parent. So they're triggering old feelings of that parent. And those feelings need to be tended to. You need to feel them in the energy field of your body. Feel them, hold them, release them, be with them. And that can be, you know, a process that can take a while. So use that opportunity when you're triggered to be with those places within yourself. But it may also be that someone who looks like a friend, talks like a friend, walks like a friend, and is from the friend group, that some part of you on the kind of subconscious level knows that that person doesn't have good intentions for you, doesn't hold goodwill for you, might indeed have some ill will toward you. And that happens in the world, and I don't want you to get paranoid about that, but I also want you to be real about that. What people in your life water your plant, shine a light on your little plant, is excited to see your little plant grow, and which ones make you feel like you want to protect your plant, or actually kind of hurt your plant, put some shade on your plant. Isn't that an interesting expression that young people use? She was throwing shade at me, and that's interesting, because in so many ways, when we talk about prana, life force, breath, that we bring more of into our being, so we become more present in our bodies, and therefore we can bring more spiritualizing energy into our actions in the world and our projects in the world. that is light, and then someone might come and feed that light and also be a light, and then light plus light is like more light. Someone else might, you know, make you feel like you walked into a dark basement energetically. And it's okay to help people who have a low vibration, that might be going through something in their life, and help them raise their vibration by you bringing your light to them. But do it consciously. So be really aware, okay, I'm going to give some of my energy to this person. This person is going to drain me to a certain extent, and I'm going to allow that because I'm choosing to do that for an hour. But I'm not going to have this be an ongoing drain, because then I no longer have my full life force available to consciously and mindfully decide where it goes and what I want to produce or create in the world. So it could be an idea, if you have a suspicion that there's something that's draining you, put a little ringtone on each of the, however many people call you on a regular basis. And it can even be the text tone on the phone can also be different text tones. So maybe you're only texting. So I don't know if that's an option for you, but feel in the body, feel in the body, feel in the body, how you respond. Do you feel more creative and more enthusiastic when you're around somebody? Or do you feel like you kind of want to go take a nap? That's an indication. Yeah, so just watch that as you continue your manifesting work.